I always love those introductions. It's sort of a big hodgepodge of everything you've done over many years. And anyway, it sounds great. Not all that is happening at the moment, but much of it was. It's just a real pleasure to be here. And actually, I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Well, you know, today I want to talk about something that is an issue to me, and that is about our correction system. And mostly, it's about us, and it's about our community, who we are, what we want to do. You know, when I ran for office, I had a motto, and it said, put people first. Put people first. And, you know, when I think about that, I think, well, who are people? You know, who are the people that we're talking about putting people first? And oftentimes, in my life, and I'm sure in yours as well, those people are in your family. Those are who you're putting first. And then you extend out beyond that family and you look at other people, relatives, people in your church, neighbors, people that you work with, and pretty soon that community expands, it gets bigger and bigger. But what about the other people? The people that we're related to, that we love, that we care about, but we don't see. And we don't see them because they're behind walls. They're behind walls. So does that mean we forget about them? I don't think so. When I became a legislator, I was asked to choose what kind of committees I wanted to serve on. And of course, I hardly knew anything about anything, but there was one committee I knew I wanted to serve on, and that was the corrections. I wanted to serve on that one. So what I want to talk about a little bit today is how do we reunite ourselves with those people that we don't see? How do we bring back those people that are members of our family or our extended family, and how do we bring them back into our community? And for that matter, how do we define our community? How big is that community? How big is our vision on that community? And when we bring them back, are we preparing them for success? Are we giving them a chance to succeed? Well, before I really get into that, I want to talk about things that we already know. Who are these people? What are their issues? What are the issues that we're looking at in terms of the community? Well, we know that our prisons are a huge failure. When people go to the prison, many of them carrying with them a lot of baggage, substance abuse problems. Over 90% of all the crimes committed are involved with substance abuse. And the people go to prison, and they come back with substance abuse problems. We also know that some 16% of the people going into prisons have FAS, other kinds of mental problems. They come out, they still have them. We also know that prisons, besides that, give other kinds of gifts, not good ones. And some of these people, again, our relatives, our family, when they come back, there's higher incidence of AIDS, HIV, TB, hepatitis. So we can't fool ourselves. I know that this is the kind of thing that happens. But what do they need? What do they need? What do they want? Well, you know, more than anything, what they want, what you want, and I want, we want to heal breakage. We want to heal the fractures that happen in our families. And that's what they want to do too. Heal the relationship problems, the breakage. They also need housing. They need jobs. They need us. They need our community. And you know, if we don't do this, then we also know that 70% plus will go back to prison. 70%. Last year, our state spent over $214 million on keeping people behind walls. $214 million. Now that's quite an investment. And out of that, 70% will go back. We don't want that to happen. And of course, not only do they go back, but they go back because they commit a crime. And that crime is inside our communities. So we don't want that to happen. We don't want them to go back. We want them to succeed. Well, what can we do about this? Well, there's lots of things. And one of the things, of course, is we can ask for the state to do something. We can ask the state to do substance abuse counseling, anger management training. Try to do something with education, more education inside. Teach job skills. Okay, that's the state. It's their job to do some of those things. But let's look at some other things that have happened in the past, and one is a really good thing that happened. It happened last year up in Anchorage at the Highland Mountain Center for Women, for the correction system. The courts took initiative, and they put on a day called Success Inside and Out. And when they did it, it was only a one-day affair, but it was wonderful. People from the community came, people from the university helping people transition into university classes and other types of classes, people from consumer credit counseling, people from family law, people from the Council on Arts, physical fitness, how to dress. It was one day and it was wonderful. And it was sponsored through the court system. And they're going to do it again this year, and they're going to do it in Juneau. So that will be in about 6 months. And so keep your ear out for that, because there's going to be a huge need for people to jump in on that and help and get involved with that. So I was really, really pleased about that. Then a few weeks back, I went over to Lemon Creek and talked to the superintendent. And I said, you know, what can we do? And he said, I'm just so glad you asked. You know, we can form partnerships. We can do things. We can reach out. And we need to do it a year before our family members come home. A year before. We need planning. And you know what? We can do that. I am going to be putting together a task force this next year, over this summer after we get out of session. And I invite any of you to please join me in this task force. We can take leadership in this community. We can extend ourselves out to this very important group of people. So in conclusion, I would like to just say there's a lot that the state can do. There's a lot the state has not done. But there's a whole lot that we can do. And it's really right here on our laps. The most important thing is that we all work together for that common goal for our community. I really want to thank you for giving me this chance to talk to you today. Thank you.